All right, guys. Appreciate all of you being here for this one happy 4 a.m. on the East Coast stream. We hit the stretch goal, so I figured let's do this thing. I'm going to take it through the entire editing process. If you don't know the dumb decision that we're editing, we were editing the dumb decision of D'Amico Ryans with the kickoff with 2:04 left, not going into the landing zone. Kicking it wherever that was. What we used Beth only see hit the live stream goal? Yes, we did. We did hit the goal. So I'm going to add this video live on the air. I'm going to just take you through the entire process of how I do it, and we will go from there. So in terms of what I want to listen to while we do this, we're going to go top 40 songs this week, 1990. We'll do that. So let's listen to some music while we do it. So first thing I'm going to do, before I even write the script, I mean, most of my shots for this video are going to just be D'Amico Ryans. So I already know what I need. It's a nice thing with dumb decisions. I just kind of know automatically what I'm going for. So we are just going to get as many shots of D'Amico Ryans as possible. I already started while I was on stream. So the idea is just split up all the D'Amico Ryans clips, find them all, and then get as many as you can. Every clip from the game you take, and you go from there. So I've not even written the script, but I know what my footage is going to be. So I'm just getting the footage right now while I do it. If anyone has any questions or anything, fire away in the chat. I will answer them all, and we'll go from there. Again, happy 4 a.m. stream. So I gotta manually go through this entire fourth quarter. I gotta basically rewatch the entire fourth quarter in scrolling form, but not in a good way. You get a reaction early? Yes, we will do that. That's coming in. I have to figure out how I'm gonna implement it into the script. So I know I have to bring up the Ben Johnson thing. So I gotta get that video in as well. Oh, my neighbors are laughing so hard? Yeah, I mean, thank God I don't have neighbors. This is a staircase. So NBA, I'm not doing NBA. We are doing Louisiana Tech against Western Kentucky in college football. But we'll be keeping tabs on the NBA. Happy opening day to everyone waking up on the East Coast. Exciting times. New era of the NBA with NBC now back in there. Can't wait to see the Broncos next weekend. You know, I could see it with how they're playing offensively. I'm not crazy about Bo Nix right now. I could definitely see it. We're not shocked me in the slightest bit. So again, I'm just getting clips of D'Amico Ryans. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure. Who has citizenship 3 in the morning? Oh boy, 3 a.m. That's what I'll make sure. NFL. I just want to make sure that that the NFL didn't upload anything from that game in terms of crazy endings. Sometimes they'll upload the craziest, the ending to the game, and then my footage I gotta be careful what footage I use. They did not upload, they just uploaded the game highlights. Wait a second, what the heck? Wait. Come on. They're not that dumb. They're not that dumb. Are you actually kidding me? The hypocrisy is astounding. Okay, before I start, this is the thumbnail for the Texans Seahawks video. The game highlights from the NFL's official YouTube channel. This is the thumbnail. See if you can spot the problem with it. See if you can spot the problem. What are we doing here? What are we honestly doing here, NFL? That's your thumbnail from the game? The hypocrisy is astounding. Making a tweet. I'll schedule the tweet for later. Yeah, it's literally a penalty. I'll schedule the tweet when more people are up. That's insane. You can't say, you can't take over the goalposts. It's a safety issue. We don't want to delay the game. And then the literal thumbnail of your highlight video from the official NFL YouTube channel is that. It'd be one thing if it was like a fan account. That'd be one thing. But when that's your official thing, I mean, come on. The hypocrisy is just astounding. You want to know why people have issues with the league? It's stuff like that. Dunking should be a penalty. I agree. Dunking should be a penalty. Because you don't want to delay the game with the goalposts. You don't want to have an equipment malfunction like Jimmy Graham style. But then to glorify it. Like, treat it the same way you treat streakers on the field. Don't glorify it. Just, I give up. I'd have a lot of questions for the thumbnail designer on that. If I was Roger Goodell. Prescott Valley? Ooh. Yeah, I've never been to a live wrestling event. Let's use a face mask as a thumbnail. Yeah, exactly. It's like, why? So you're saying you can't do it. You're saying you can't do it because it damages our product. Yeah, you're going to try and profit off that. Every time show up. Ooh. Prescott Valley? That is... Man, 90 minutes. Wonder if I do live betting, home to win like 145. I do live betting a lot. I do live betting quite a bit. Okay, just... Michael fell asleep. Michael fell asleep. He crashed. Yeah, me using a thumbnail, hang on the rim, exactly. Yeah, so Michael, I assumed he fell asleep. He's going to donate the 10 tomorrow. So we're all good. Yeah. So he didn't bail. He literally just fell asleep. Because I did say if we hit 250, like if we hit 240, Michael donated out of 10, he crashed. I just messaged him. It's kind of amazing. It's yeah, CB steering games. Wow. All right. Yeah, he does. Yes. Oh yeah. No, he doesn't bail. He's a man of his word. He literally just crashed. I passed out just want to make sure the stream happen. All good. I appreciate your time, Banjo. No, this is gonna be a fun stream. This is gonna be a really fun one. I love hanging out with you guys, so this is gonna be a fun one. And we're just gonna see the process. And hopefully we can get this video out. I'm hoping by 7 a.m. Eastern time we should be able to get this out. I'm going to guess 7 is the time we're going to get this out. 91 miles worth of Phoenix. Yeah, that's not too bad. Not terrible. If you're down, I am we'll make it work. Yeah, because I I was thinking this too, because like he usually listens on like when he does like the Grow Up Uber Eats and whatnot, and he, I was saying like there's no one doing Uber Eats at 3 in the morning. There's nothing open at 3 in the morning there, so I was like he's got to be asleep. So as long as he really was not expecting to hit the stretch goal, all good. Yeah, I wasn't expecting either. When I said it, it was like we were at like $30. How could I expect that we were gonna do it? You guys are awesome. We were like nowhere close when I said that. You're glad I woke up would have been so I haven't missed this? Yeah. I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you're here. Alright, so this is near the end of the game. When do I sleep? That's a great question. I honestly don't know. So what I'll do is like I'll schedule tweets throughout the day. So if I tweet something, there's a 50% chance I'm not up at that point. If it's during the day, there's a 50% chance I will not be awake. I just schedule it to make it look like I'm awake at all hours. It passed up. I was awake by you yelling and recording during the video. Yes. I'll let you know when I start recording this one. Okay, so this is that. All right. So that's that. Okay, so we have... Again, I keep this clip the same because this one is just a talking shot, but the action shots we're going to slow down. Don't know the definition of sleep? Yeah, I'll probably go to bed tonight at like 7 in the morning and wake up at 1. That's probably what we're going to do. Probably be there or will, and we'll have left 4 members. So I think all good. All good. So we're going to... Let's see. Nah, we'll go 20% on that. Better be safe than sorry with this. Shoveling him to Kong this decision. I remember Kong. I do remember that. I think I've done videos on Kong before. Okay, so again, we're just gonna hit the turtle. That's basically what this is. So you see a thing, and no, it's gotta be at least 5 seconds. And then once you see the thing, you hit the turtle. You just have to make it everything under. Make sure everything is under. Everything is under about 8.3 seconds. That's what it comes down to. Everything under 8.3. Sleep for 5 hours a night, then another 3 during the afternoon. I'll do that sometimes. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll stream and then sleep for 90 minutes and then wake up and then sleep for like 5 hours. I just try to go about 7 a.m. Eastern only for example. I get 5 hours. I start shutting my eyes. That's happened before. Oh, that has definitely happened before. Where I'm about to log off and then something happens. I have to stay on for another 2 hours. That's happened. When did that happen? I'm trying to remember when exactly that happened. But there was one. I think it was Daniel Jones. When he got signed by the Vikings for a little bit. Because sometimes, too, when stuff breaks in the middle of the night, I have the benefit of being the only one up at that hour. So it's like people come to me because I'm like the only one that's up at that hour. That's why the one thing I wish I was live streaming back in 21 when Urban Meyer got fired. Because that broke at 12:40 at night. Every Jaguars fan was asleep. Because it was a weekday at 1 in the morning. And I was like, man, if I was live, I don't even know the numbers I could have pulled. Yeah, still up. Yeah, we are still going. There's our passport soon, so she's going to Canada for the World Series. Wow. After today, yeah, she went to sleep on it. I do that during the summer since it gets hot outside in the afternoon. Yep. Oh, yeah. Sunscreen puts me to sleep. I don't know if it's like that for other people. Sunscreen, if I put on sunscreen for, like, going outside, I'm 100% crashing for a nap at some point. Yeah, we are still up. We hit a stretch goal, so we're editing a video live on the air. And we're going to edit the dumb decision made by D'Amico Ryans at the end of this game. We have so many dumb decisions to get to this week. I need to get to them all. This is going to be insanity. Like, we're going to be doing dumb decisions all throughout. And just, again, hit the turtle. That's the thing. Just hit the turtle. Hit the turtle. Go right down the middle. And it's just spliced everything pretty evenly. My demonstrators do I have confirmed? Dable, McCoy, this. It's 420. I'm still, yep, I am still up. We are live editing a dumb decision. Basically, one of the worst things I ever saw happen. Basically, the Ben Johnson decision from Monday Night Football with the kickoff happened again. So I was like, if we hit $250 on stream, I will edit a video live on the air. Well, good morning in the summer since it's cooler. I don't mind crashing in the afternoon. That's good. There's something peaceful about being up at this hour. There's something really peaceful about just being able to work and no one interrupts you and there's nothing going on that you're missing. And you're just like in a zone. Time just kind of stops. I get in a zone at this hour. Like, I am very good at this hour. My brain, my body's just wired like that. Where midnight, 1 a.m., it's like, yeah, we're going. All right, so now what I do is I have to take these clips, I'll copy, delete, and we're just going to put them in random fragments so it's at different points during the game. And live sports to stream? I don't know. And that's what makes me excited about when I do the Olympic streams. I don't know how many people are going to be up. I genuinely wonder one day if I do a live stream during a time where no one else is up, what will happen? I ain't taking them chilling. It's just me and my dog. My wife and Dara will get down for school in 2 hours. Nice. Nice. Why is McDaniel not fired yet? I couldn't tell you. I honestly couldn't tell you. The locker room is dysfunctional. No one is a leader there. McDaniel is throwing his players under the bus. Tua is throwing the players under the bus. There's no hierarchy. He lost the locker room when he had a players only meeting in week 1. And now you have so many players only meetings that the players don't even know if they're mandatory or not. No one's holding anyone accountable. There's no structure. I couldn't tell you why McDaniel is still there. We reached the point of no return a while ago with him. And it is honestly shocking. Cricket match India or Australia? Ooh, yeah, I might do that at some point. Like, after I finish this section, I'll show you. I will show you. I literally had everything ready to go for a live stream. I told my mom FaceTimed me at like 7 in the morning her time, 4 in the morning my time. And she was like, are you going to bed? And I'm like, yeah, because I was up since 6 a.m. for the Jaguars game. But because I live in Phoenix. But I told her, like, can you do me a favor? And she's like, yeah, what is it? I'm like, can you just turn on notifications for Adam Schefter? Just turn on notifications on your phone for Schefter. And if he texts something out about Mike McDaniel getting fired, just ping my phone. Because I put on Do Not Disturb when I sleep. But if you do like the find your phone, it pings and it bypasses that. And then I would know. If I got a ping, I would know. It's almost like the Hall of Fame, you get the knock on the door, you know? I basically told my mom, just turn on notification for Schefter, and if you see McDaniel getting fired, just give me a ping. And I woke up, and it was noon, and I'm like, oh crap, I slept through the news, or I can't believe, or I was like, I can't believe I told mom to do one thing. I love her, but like I told her to do one thing, and I'm like, oh man, and now I missed it, and all that, and then I looked at my Twitter feed, and I saw McDaniel had not been fired, and I'm like, wait, what? My initial reaction, and this is all going through my mind, like the 10 seconds that I woke up, so my brain wasn't fully there yet. But I woke up, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, he wasn't fired? And then my mom called, like we talked like we talk every day, and she was like I felt like I really thought he was gonna get fired. I checked everywhere. I made sure because I was getting the notification, so I was worried that I missed it. And like I looked at every reporter, I looked at every article and everything, and I'm like, no, mom, you're good. You're good. He didn't get fired. I appreciate you a ton. He did not get fired. We were all in awe. Musical noodling is more creative this Sunday? 100%. Me too. Starting last Friday, I have to use a CPAP machine because I have sleep apnea. Oh, that sucks. At least you're getting cured to some extent. Member State versus Birmingham United. Also, 2 test matches on 2. Ooh. Yeah, Asian Champions League. AFC Champions League might be something we do at some point. Or when's the AFC Cup? It's not this year because it's obviously World Cup year. But both teams down streets in the wee hours. Never. Erlenmeyer was the only time. The only time I remember a team announcing a firing like that, like in the randomest hour of the day, was when the Jaguars fired Urban Meyer, because that was after he assaulted a player. Most of the time, you're thinking 8:30 to 10 o'clock in the morning. When I woke up and was looking for an emergency live stream, only if there would be none. I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah, I really thought I was going to get no sleep, and we were going to do an emergency live stream with McDaniel. And I'm just doing the same thing. And I'll show you exactly how I was ready. Bama this week. I think Bama is a very good team. I like Bama a lot this week. Bama, Ty Simpson was my Heisman pick from day one. I have the bet receipts to prove it on FanDuel. I really like Alabama. Their defense is starting to tighten up. The offense, a lot of playmakers. Williams starting to get things going. Bernard is just a machine with the ball in his hands. Cuevas is looking good as a tight end. He's one of the best tight ends in the nation. I like Bama a lot, and I'm not betting against them in anything really at this point. Yeah, it gets a little bit easier at this stage. So now I just delete the bar, and now we're good. Now all the clips are in for D'Amico Ryans. But I want to show you. I legit want to show you what I would... Like, I had everything ready. Ready to go. So here's a live tab. Okay? So this shows you... So this is the tab I've got, and it tells you, like, your analytics and whatnot, and then you can sort animal... Like, this is my YouTube studio. This is the interface. The live tab shows me all my live streams that I've done. I go back and forth and sort by different things and whatnot. Like, this one's currently live right now. Upcoming. I had it ready to go. At 2:30 in the morning, before I went to bed, I set this stream up. Because, again, I couldn't really work late at night last night to some extent because AWS was down. So, Canva wasn't working. Adobe Adobe, what do I use? Podcast wasn't working. Adobe Podcast wasn't working. KHL's on hour. Ooh. But literally, I had it set up ready to go. Where all I would have to do, if I got the ping, was click this, click public, done, and save. That's all I would have to do. Like, I had it ready to go. And it never happened. I was shocked when I woke up. Discard, yeah. Like, I literally had everything good for the emergency live stream. And it just never materialized. Like, this is like the back end. Yeah, in a lab, yep. Right, the KHL was becoming the second best league in the world. It was. Especially after the NHL lockout for a little bit. They had some talent. Now it's a series of just obviously the plane wreck and then obviously what happened with Russia over the last few years. Yeah, we're still live. We hit a stretch goal. I set us a goal if we hit 250, I'll edit a video live on stream. I didn't think we were going to hit the goal. And then you guys came in clutch and we hit the goal. So, it was the wrong thing. So, that's what happened. So, okay, so all the clips are in for D'Amico Ryans. They're all spread out. They're all in. So now, it's time to write the script. That's some steady place. Yep. Like one of the teams, I forget what team, but one of the teams, everyone died in a plane crash and then all that. Yeah, they show games regularly. Who wins Lakers versus Warriors? I'm going Lakers. I'm just going home teams in both. All right, so let me do this. So this is the previous one, and now we're just going to do a brand new document. Just out of curiosity. I just want to see what would happen. Write an episode. Obviously, we're not doing it, but I get a lot like with AI. I just want to see what would happen. Let's see. I just want to see what it spews out. I just want to see. Was it 2011? I thought it was more recent than that. I genuinely want to see what it plops out. Their late week X game. Yep, that's right. Caillou appears on ChatGPT. Oh my god, can you imagine? I want to see if they get the logic. Oh crap, this is actually pretty accurate. This part's actually not bad. They sort of have the cadence down. I mean, it's still wrong. But they sort of have the cadence down here. I'm not going to lie. They're getting a lot better. Okay, now they're just repeating itself. But that wasn't terrible. Make a lot of seconds. Save watch it too. Oh, wow. All right. So all we do first is we copy and paste this, because obviously this part's the same for everything. All right. Hopefully I get the script out by, let's say 2:15. Oh, joking, yeah. I had a feeling. I was like, don't call out for me. Can't sleep yet. Right, they need the classic line. Yeah, Locomotive, that was the one. Batman 4, yeah, that sounds about right. Again, I have him as top 5 team. I have him in that like 5 range. Here's a 10 Michael with 10. I appreciate you, man. All good. Appreciate you, man. Right, I'm sorry. That was also missing. Yeah. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, it's funny. Like, go back and say, I was thinking like, yeah, you probably fell asleep. I was like, there's no way you're up at this hour. I was like, you always come through. I was like, you're not one to flake on that offer. So I had a feeling you just crashed. Happens to everyone. So, yeah. No, you're good. You're good, man. Don't worry about it. I appreciate you a ton. I was like, I know you're gonna come through. I'm like, I know you. I know you well. I knew you were gonna come through. I'm just like, you crashed. You fell asleep. I was like, there's no way, like, because every single time you've hit that offer. Every single time that you make a thing like that and someone does it, you do the rest, and I'm like, yeah, you probably just fell asleep. You getting times to the point where I have to pull over a bit? Yeah, you made the right call on that one. Made the right call. Obviously, drowsy driving, not safe. Mom's favorite son? Oh. Oh, do the bowling? Oh. Good for her then. Have me in the first F, not gonna lie. Have me in the first F. Yeah, the NFL has a plan in place for that. They do. They have the emergency draft plan, which makes sense. Let me just, before I continue this, I just want to watch the press conference that D'Amico Ryan's had. Just want to see what he said about it. So that'll help the... Let's go to the transcript. Transcript's not there. Unless someone else already did something. Hang on, give me a second here. Let's see. They don't have a transcript, but... Okay, red zone question. Okay, wait, this is actually interesting. Hang on. D'Amico said that was the... Wait. D'Amico said the plan was kick it out of bounds. He knew the situation... Wait. He's still going to get episode. Because that was so stupid. How do you not know how to kick it out of bounds? And why even take that chance? You just have to tap the ball. How the emergency draft even work? There are certain teams, basically, there's certain players that get protected, and then certain players would go to that team. They wouldn't have a good team. They would not have a good team by that point. You hope you never find out. Hopefully. Obviously, that is something I never want to see happen. It's Man United back in the 40s, 50s. Yeah, playing travel is a lot safer back now than it was back then, at least. Cowboys trading Parsons to the Packers. Opinion on that? I think it was a good trade for the Packers. For the Cowboys, edge rusher is one of the 3 positions, I think, that you pay them whatever they want. Because it matters that much of a franchise edge rusher like that. Especially one that's in the prime of his career, not even in the prime of his career just yet. But Parsons looked very good against the Cardinals. He finally showed up this season. And I don't get the logic by the Cowboys of, okay, we're going to trade Parsons for Clark. We're going to trade for an aging player who is worse against the run. We're going to use the picks to potentially get a blue chip player. You had a blue chip player in Parsons. That doesn't make sense. It's like the Family Guy mystery box meme. It was just bizarre when the trade went down. Just want to see how long the return was. Hang on. Yeah, that would be a wall-to-wall news coverage event. Oops. Well, I don't know why it's doing that. You thought I'd catch lightning ball again? Yeah, but he had 11 picks to work with that trade. Whatever, however many it was, 11 or 12. This is 2. It's a lot different. And also, scouting is way more advanced now than it was back then. People didn't value draft picks the way the Cowboys did back then. Now everyone does. All right, UCLA Indiana wins that poll pretty easily, so we're gonna put $10 on there from Michael. 12-hour marathon, 12 hours against 12 hour overtime. That'd be interesting. I'll probably be fried after that, but we might do it at some point. At some point, I could see that happening. Belichick Webster video at some point? Yes. Yes. The dumb decisions by these coaches have just compounded so much at this point, though. So, we'll get to it there. Hunter Jeff for a test grade match? I don't think I could do that. Voucher's on with UNC, he's cooked. I'm shocked by how bad their defense is. I knew their offense would struggle, but the undisciplinedness and the defense, I thought for sure the defense would be fine. And what's also crazy to me with Belichick at UNC is that you never would expect Belichick to shun the NFL the way he has. He's making it actively harder for these players to get noticed, which sucks. Because I thought Belichick would be a great coach for recruiting because he knows how to get you to the NFL. Like, if anyone knows, especially defensively, how to get you to the NFL and the technique and what it takes, it's Belichick. Because he's never coached a bad defense in the NFL. And yet this defense is so sloppy and so terrible. And then he prevents scouts from coming. And it just... yeah, it's a bad situation. I think he's done it for this year. If there's a recruiting violation, he's done it for this year. And just putting his stress on Michael Lombardi has not paid off in the slightest bit. Should we go on the Toronto games there? I mean, if you... you might as well make the most of it. Yeah, unique experience. I mean, is she willing to drop another 50 grand or whatever it's going to take at this point? She seems like she's got money to burn, but I guess it depends on what's more important. This is why you don't do that. That's why I don't buy tickets for stuff I don't know the team's playing in unless it's something like the Final Four when that came to Phoenix. I didn't care who the teams were. You see by the rest of the contract out? They're going to have to get the donors. They'll have to get the boosters to do it because it's a big contract. But I would never buy tickets to something that I don't know the teams in unless it's an event. Like Final Four, I didn't know who the teams are going to be in the Final Four. But I was like, I'm not missing this. Because it comes to Phoenix once a decade, I got to go. You 3 a.m. here Mountain Time, yep. 2 o'clock on the Pacific Coast. Sun is starting to rise on the East Coast. Are we now seeing when no team want to hire Belichick? Yes. I mean, I think people want him as a coach. Just he didn't they didn't want him running the football operations and have a G and be the GM. And we're seeing that. Yeah, Belichick would be without Brady. I don't know. I mean, we've seen it. It's not a good track record. I still think he'd be semi-successful, just not crazy track record. Talk about the Jags hiring Belichick. A little bit, yeah. Because Shad Khan, I had a feeling Shad Khan was going to be fired bulky. He wanted one guy to run everything, and that would be Belichick. So when UNC hired him, I'm like, thank God. We don't have to deal with that. I was like, thank the Lord. Right, excellent DC. He's one of the best defensive masterminds in football. Every Patriots team he had a good defense. No matter how bad the offenses were, every team had a good defense. Let's title this. Let's make sure we're having the same beats from the Bears one. Talking about the Cowboys getting over Renshaw? Yes. We're talking about the Cowboys getting everyone. We're talking about Deion Sanders at one point, which that would have been a fun. That would have been a fun experiment. Great in the pros, terrible in college, the poster child? Yes. There's not a lot of coaches. It's usually great in the college, terrible in the pros. This is really one of the first times seeing great in the pros, terrible in college. But next Sunday's Texans game, see better not throw the ball first or second down and goal again, right if you're shy of the goal line. Yeah, at the very least, if you're going to run the ball, don't have everyone inside the box. If you're going to run the ball against the second best run defense in football, spread the receivers out so that it's not 11 in the box. It was crazy the play calls they were running today. It was crazy. Before single ball pitch another LCS, yeah, that's insane. I would never in a million years have confidence in any team like that. The only exception is if you're buying on the contingency, like there are some, like I'll put it this way, like the Super Bowl. If you think your team has a shot at the Super Bowl, I'm fine with buying the hotel. If it's refundable, it's got to be refundable. But I'm fine buying a refundable hotel ticket reservation because it fills up pretty quickly. And if you don't make it, you can obviously cancel. If you do make it and you didn't do it before, you're now 2 hours away from the city. But again, the key word is refundable. To do what she did, when hotels would not be a problem and tickets would not be a problem, because a lot of locals go to the World Series. It's not like when I went to the World Series, I went to 3 games of the World Series. I didn't buy a hotel. I just walked from my apartment. A lot of locals are going because you're a season ticket holder. You get your dibs on the tickets. So it's not like hotels are gonna be an issue, especially in Toronto. I mean, or Seattle. I mean, because Seattle was where she was going. Like hotels are not being an issue in Seattle. The same as downtown. Just wow. Just really dumb. Really dumb. Oh, this is gonna be left up. Yeah, this is gonna be left up. I don't take this down. Oh, 50K back to Seattle isn't. Yeah. Right, only one of them. Wow. Yeah, the hotel rooms at the Skydome. I don't even. Let me check. Let me check. So that's the Toronto Marriott City Center Hotel. Let's see. I'm genuinely, there's no way. Well, that explains that. One night. Let's look at this part. 3,583. That's just for one bed. What if you want like a suite? Or if you want the big kahuna. $3,600 for one night. Oh, there's only one room left. Never mind, there's only one room left. One room left. Flex story, only $4,000. Wow, that's a steal. It's a phenomenal price. What if you want like Saturday? What if you're banking on game 7? What would happen? No, I have rooms for Saturday. What about... I love you can tell when the Blue Jays are in town and when they're not. Okay, what about this? Have I caught people doing that? Yes. They don't have rooms for game 7. They're like, we're not taking that chance. Yeah, so that's that. Those Canadian USD, 4,000 is USD. Canadians 5,600 or thereabout. So now I just do the beginning. Let's just start off with that. Did March Madness too? Oh my god. Orange Madness, was she going for a specific team? Because March Madness, I get buying, like March Madness, I don't care what the teams are. Is there a specific team she was going for with that? And I've also sort of, I get the logic, sort of, for March Madness, because the prices do go up. Nothing changes in Seattle. Especially with the money she's got, nothing changes. Like March Madness, I get if you want to take that chance. So, like, you buy your ticket for March Madness, you don't care about, let's say, the local team playing in it. But you buy it under the assumption that, okay, if they make it, the price will go up tremendously. So you buy it early. Or vice versa, wait for it to fall. It's not like the price would change on anything. The ticket prices for the World Series would be exactly the same, whether the game is played or not. The hotel price is exactly the same. The flight's exactly the same because it's all locals. Yeah, Belichick's embarrassing himself. He is. He is embarrassing himself. Some people are swinging the pendulum too far and claiming it was nothing. Yeah, I agree with that. I think he is definitely done. He is washed at this point. But to say he was not a good coach, I think that's unfair. Should be a thing on there for all those SFU sports stories. Oh, there's a lot of them. There is a lot of them. I don't feel bad for him. Yeah, I don't feel bad for him. Let's give me a second here. I just gotta take my mind off something really quickly. Sometimes I just like do this just to give my eyes a little breather to some extent. Just take my mind off what I just did. There we go. All right. NFL stories are 2 NSFW for YouTube? No. I mean, yes, to the sense of like crimes, but like just funny stories, nothing really. But no, he's defensively, Belichick is a mastermind. Advice for workflow when I write these scripts in a short time? I don't know if I have like advice. I mean, because I go out of order a lot. So sometimes I'll do the script first. I jump around. So like I started with, like I'm doing the intro last. Sometimes I'll start with the clips, like here, and then I go to the script. Sometimes it's vice versa. It just goes back and forth. But in workflow advice, I either feel it or you don't. I just force myself to get into the zone with writing. If it's not there, it's not there. But I don't know if I have like advice for that. So I would say limit distractions, because once you get in the zone, it's hard to, like, once you get out of the zone, it is very hard to get back in. Extremely hard. Once you look at one thing on Twitter and then you just keep doom scrolling and then you watch a video and then like soon, it's a little bit later. Just like, now time to go to work. Yep, I'm awake. We're ending a dumb decision. Imagine write these scripts so quickly. Yeah, dumb decisions, it's very much a template at this point. I have an idea of what I want to do. Like, I know the clips I need. I know how I want to structure it. Counter argument, press conference, what I want to do. It's just a lot of... I mean, I've written so many dumb decisions episodes, like over 200 at this point. But I do write scripts pretty quickly. Voice typing, right for Lynn, but I've been really trying to pivot more into voice typing. No, I like writing better. I feel better when I'm writing. I write pretty fast. So we did like a WPM test. I'm pretty fast. We did on stream. I go at an insane rate. Completely insane rate. Like, we're talking like the 99th percentile for typing. So, not really of like... Because then you could repeat yourself, lose your train of thought. it's a lot easier for me to just type everything out. The history videos? Yeah, that's a little bit interesting. It depends. Well, I have to find the article, and then I have to see if there's footage. And a lot of times what I'll do with that is I'll get the footage first. If it's something that I know there will be tons of footage on, like if it's a game from 2000, like let's just say like 2003 or whatever, and they have the full game on YouTube, the full game is available, I know there's gonna be the footage, and I can just I'll write the script or whatnot. I know I'm gonna get the footage. But if it's something like a player from the 80s or the 70s that I don't know if there's gonna be enough footage, I'll do the footage first, and then I'll have a idea of how much footage is in for each player or each thing I'm gonna talk about. So I have 9 minutes of footage of this player, 3 minutes of establishing shots of the stadium or whatnot. So then I can model the script based off of that. So every video I do in different ways. So some history videos I'll start at the front, some I'll do at the back. Sometimes what I do, what I find really helpful sometimes, is I will... This helped me a lot, actually. Sometimes I'll find a topic. So what I do, I get off stream, I find a topic. I don't know what topic's going to be, but I find a topic. And then I nap. And I go to take a nap thinking of the story. And sometimes at that point it just comes to me like how I want to structure it. Because I'll find a story, I'm like, okay, this is great. How the heck do I write this script? How do I write this out? How do I structure this? What's the game plan here? And sometimes I'll nap, and then I'll like wake up 9 minutes later and be like, okay, I got it. I find the moments. So sometimes what I'll do is, I'll show you, like I'll go to, I have a subscription to newspapers.com. So for newspapers.com, in terms of this, like sometimes it's saying different words, but in terms of this, let's see the NFL schedule for next week. Let's see. The Jets, I'll just go, okay. Hypothetical example. Vikings play the Chargers this Thursday night. So Vikings, Chargers, check all the times they played, and we'll see. You know, like usually San Jose has some pretty interesting stories. 85. Let's say, okay, let's go to 1985. History video, about an hour to write the video. Obviously, finding the story a little bit different, but about an hour. Yeah, voice acting does have its flaws. Let's see, like Vikings, Chargers. Let's see if there's footage. I don't know if there is. 1985. There's not a lot, so that's probably not even gonna bother searching for that. Let's do 1975. Okay, there is something. There is something for that. Let me just make sure I've not done a video on this before. I have not. All right. So let's just see. Like Viking starters, 1975. There's footage of that game. There's footage. 2013, your final. This game took place on November 23rd. So I'm going to type in Chargers. I'll filter it to the 2 days after the game. Right, I'll right here to that. And we will only go California. And that's basically what I'll do. The Chargers are a bit of an annoying team because you get a lot of car ads. So they're a bit of an annoying one. But if I go newspapers, let's go LA Times. They're usually pretty good. I'm calling out kids, so we have to go to 15. Oof. Yeah, let's see. And I'll just see if there's anything in this. Sometimes, like, I have no idea. See, like that, Chargers. Maybe Chargers are the best team because Chargers. Yeah, nothing there. Maybe a different team. Well, I think that'll be a better example. That's also appreciated. Like Browns Patriots. Let's do Browns Patriots. They played this week. Browns Patriots. When have they played? They went. Okay. Let's get like a bad Patriots year. Yeah, like 91. Let's try this. Browns Patriots 1991. It was Belichick's first game. There's not a ton of footage. 1992? There is footage, okay. So there is footage of the 1992 game. So let's see. Browns Patriots 92. That was October 25th. So let's do Patriots October 26th, 1992 to October 27th, 1992. And we'll just sort by, just do Boston Globe. And then I'll just scour and see. Stuff like this usually is pretty good. Oh, wait a sec. Like here, okay. So now I'm going to see this. Okay, this catches my eye. Browns get it for Seth. Have the ball midfield. We're on the first play. What's the timeout? Result. Okay, well, let's see. Check the box score. So they... Wait. When was this? Browns at the end of the first half. Wait, hang on. You know, some certainly deserve. They do. Okay, wait. So let's go. So this is. Okay, so it's 9-7 at this point. Yeah, so like this is what I and sometimes it works. So you have the kickoff return. 27 seconds. First down. Do you have okay? You run the ball. That's gonna keep the clock moving. Wait, they didn't take the time until 12 seconds? Wait. What? Wait. See, this is the kind of stuff. Wait. So they ran it down. This is Belichick, too. They run it down to 22. They run it here. Then they let another 10 seconds come off before taking a timeout? What? Wait, that made no sense. Wait. And they still have a timeout. So they're gonna... Wait. Why do they not take a timeout at 22? Why do they let 10 seconds... That's 2 plays they just wasted. And then... He can't get any closer for a field goal. And he misses. Yeah, like that's the process. That's literally the process. Yeah, so that'll probably be a video at some point. Historical dumb decision, yeah. So that's the process. That's how my mind operates. The search terms, you see how it is, and then you just look, you're like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Or there's something that catches your eye. Like, that is insane. So, yeah, that might be a video this week. So I'll go to bed tonight and think how I want to structure that, potentially. And we'll have that out later this week. Like, that's how it is. That's the process. That was not planned. Yeah, we were pressed on Action Live on stream. Yeah, that's what I love about these streams. That's what I love about doing these streams sometimes. You just see how it works. Like, that was obviously not planned. That was... I'm not even thinking about, like, the next week, because I've got to do all these some decisions. But that was the process at work. So I just finished the script here. So I know in terms of other footage, process you can trust on like a certain other process. Yep. So I know like for this. 2 parts for anything? Nice. Curious about the writing process, trying to work on my songwriting, see if I can learn anything. Ooh. I just mess around on the keyboard. I just mess around and well, I have perfect pitch, so it's like I get sometimes hear things in my head. But I'll also choose on Jeopardy. Oh wow. I'll also just songwriting. I'll be listening to music and say like, okay, I want a song like that. So a lot of my songwriting process is I want a song like that. And then I change one chord, change this chord, and then I'm like, okay, work this chord. Now it's like, okay, I have a version like that. So that's sort of how it works. Because you're getting inspired by everything. I was like, okay, I want a song like that. And then you just tweak it and you make your own, and that's sort of how I do it. All right, so I have to download this because I do want the footage from that. And then I need to record what I already did. All right, the scripts. Oh, I think they're writing lyrics. Yeah, lyrics is a tough one. Lyrics, I don't know. Lyrics just kind of come to you. It's dark songwriting? Oh. All right, so what I need to do now is I need to screen record my reaction because I need that. So, is that the right stream? That's the right stream. Yep. So I need to screen record my reaction to this dumb decision. So I'm going to use this in. I feel like everyone has had an episode where they appear on some game show. Career 3 is nice. All right, so I'll make it theater mode. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go screen recording. So you're not going to see my face during this. So just keep that in mind. You're not going to see my face. I just need to record this. And then I will crop it and do all that. So just give me a second here. And we will go from there. It's good. 27-19, one score game. Okay, now, if you're not going to onside kick, this is the Bears-Vikings game. I swear to God. You don't need to onside kick. You actually don't need to onside kick. You could... I'm not sure I onside kick it here. With the way our defense is playing, I'm not sure I onside kick. But you do what Ben Johnson didn't do. Out of bounds, out of the back of the end zone. That's what you do. You do not kick it in the landing zone. I swear to God, if you kick it in the landing zone, I will lose brain cells. You go onside, that's one thing. I would kick it deep, but you kick it out of bounds or in the landing zone. We saw this week 1. The Vikings, Bears, Ben Johnson. It was a huge mistake by the Bears on Monday Night Football. Will history repeat itself here? We're about to find out. Again, you do not... Okay, they're kicking deep. I swear to God. Out of the back of the end zone or out of bounds. Just kick it out of bounds or short of the landing zone. Just kick it short of the landing zone. That's all you have to do. You don't have to get to the 20. Just tap the ball. Literally just a love tap. Like I do with the water bottle. Just boop. Tap it. Just tap it. Do not kick in the landing zone here. They got the 3 and how much time? About 110. Do not kick it in the landing zone. They will kick it off in the end zone. And... Oh. I mean, what do we even say at this point? What do I even say? What do I even say at this point? I am losing brain cells! The Seahawks just won the game. Unless they throw the ball 5 times like they've done before. How do they do that again? It is so obvious what you do in that spot. How does this keep happening? How does this keep happening? Rhino with the tour. What a fitting end. All right, so that's about the time that it that happened. So now what I'm gonna do? Let me just get this up. Here we go. Yeah, same water bottle too. Yep. At this point, it's part of the lore. So now just remix the recording. I'm not gonna use the entire clip, but that is about the part I need. Okay. And then what we'll do is, I have an Adobe Podcast subscription. We'll put that in there. And that will get rid of a lot of the background noise. And now it's time to record the script for this. You see the correct thing to do at a high school game where both teams came with a combined record of 2-10? And yet in the fourth quarter of an NFL game, it happens twice. Fantastic. All right. So now, at this point, I record this bad boy. You have 2 nickels. It's not a lot. Where it's happened twice. It is. Do I have that in there? Do I actually have that line in there? Oops. I don't have that line in there. I thought I put that in. Apparently not. All right. So now we record this bad boy. Yeah, I'm adding it. Yep, I'm adding that. I'm adding that. Okay, so now we record. So I'm not going to look at the chat during the next, I don't know, like 12 minutes probably. Because I obviously need to record this. And try to get this done in one take. So this is the raw file. This is actually the, this is the raw file of baseball one. It's actually the raw file to the baseball one. So let me do this. Go microphone. Audio. We do narration vocal. And I do everything in GarageBand. Everything you can do for free with this. I do everything in iMovie and GarageBand. You almost 6 a.m. here. Yep. And now we're going to record. So for the next 12-ish minutes, I'm not looking at the chat because I just need to record this script and we will go from there. So let's do this. And I got the script right here. I'm always keeping track of the time that I've got. All right. Let's do it. Turn the volume down, and here we go. Wait. Wrong button. There we go. Here we go. Wait, bang my microphone. Bang the microphone. Let's try that again. Remember this? Remember week 1 on Monday Night Football when Ben Johnson, for some reason, decided to have Cairo Santos, the weakest kicker in football, not kick the ball out of the... Okay. Wow, okay. Bad start. Bad start. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. Take 2. Remember this? Remember week 1 on Monday Night Football when Ben Johnson, for some reason, decided to have Cairo Santos, the weakest kicker in football, not kick the ball out of bounds or short of the landing zone, thereby allowing the Vikings to return it, take it past the 2-minute warning, and end the game right then and there? Well, I thought for sure after that nationally televised debacle that no one, not one single soul, would repeat what this man did right here. I thought there was no way that it could be done a second time. The situation was so obvious the first time, let alone when there's a prior example that everyone saw and that everyone talked about? And sure enough, you're kidding me. Welcome to Dumb Decisions. Again. Before I break down what happened here, this whole series is about taking an in-depth look at decisions made during games that were clearly awful from the start. This isn't something to look bad in hindsight. Rather, this is something to look awful almost immediately. These are moves where your gut instinct tells you right away that there is no way this can possibly work. And sure enough, your gut instinct was smarter than that of an NFL head coach. And for this one, we're taking a look at the mind of Houston Texans head coach DeMeco Ryans. This whole game was a catastrophe. This whole game made me want to lose whatever brain cells I had left. If you are just waking up today and looking at the box score of the game, you might think that you missed something good. Oh no, I promise you, you did not. In fact, I kind of envy you, because what you missed was one of the worst displays of football, where, honest to God, I could make about 20 episodes of Dumb Decisions. The Seahawks, up by 15 points in the fourth quarter, thought they were down 17, and just decided to throw the ball on every play. The Seahawks, needing a field goal to go up 3 scores and moving the ball well down the field, decided to try a wide receiver pass with Cooper Kupp, because that's worked so well before. The Seahawks, instead of going for it on 4th and 1 past the 50, or trying to draw the Texans offside with a hard count, decided to try and fool the Texans by lining up in a swinging gate formation, Colts-Patriots 2015 style, which, shocker, didn't work. The Texans, instead of utilizing this thing called the quarterback sneak, decided to run 2 goal line passes, which, shocker, didn't work. The Texans, at one point, went for it on 4th down and got stuffed using the exact same play that got stuffed on 3rd down. I legit cannot even begin to describe the atrocity I watched. It was, quite possibly, the worst coach game of football and worst played game of football I've ever seen in my life when it comes to the final quarter. And that is saying a lot, because I've watched a lot of football and a lot of crap football at that. This fourth quarter was an experience in a lot of ways. But then we got the big kahuna. Then we got the cherry on top of the suckiest game to ever suck. Because DeMeco Ryans just completely botched this sequence. There was no other way to say it. DeMeco Ryans decided to do the dumbest thing imaginable, and it cost the Texans the game. So with that being said, let's take a look at why kicking the ball into the landing zone with 2:04 left and having 1 timeout left is a really bad idea. Because if I had a nickel for every time this happened on Monday Night Football this season, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice. But before I do that, I should note that I stream all the primetime games on this channel. So I was live for this atrocity. I was live when DeMeco Ryans decided to have his kicker kick the ball into the landing zone. And by this point, having watched one of the worst played and worst executed games of football, I was ready to crash out. Take a look at my real-time reaction, just so that you know this wasn't a case of hindsight bias or exploiting a loophole way after the fact. Like thinking of the perfect thing to say in the shower in a conversation that happened yesterday. Take a gander at this. Alright, so with 2:04 left in the game and 1 timeout, you have 3 options. Option 1, try the onside kick. It's a super low percentage play, but it at least gives you the chance at getting the ball back without having to rely on your defense to make a stop. However, the Seahawks get the ball near field goal range, and 1 field goal makes it a 2-score game, ending any chance you have at winning the game. Furthermore, even if you do get a stop, your anemic offense is going to have to drive roughly 90 yards down the field in order to tie it with limited time and no timeouts available at their disposal. It's a super high risk, high reward play. But I'm not faulting the Texans for not trying it, especially with how their defense has played all day, and especially in this fourth quarter. So if we're eliminating that option, you've got option 2, which is to have the kickoff not be in the landing zone, and option 3, which is to have the kickoff be in the landing zone. And we're going to do some simple math on this. With 2:04 left, you only have 4 seconds before the 2-minute warning hits. The 2-minute warning serves as a timeout. It serves as a chance to stop the clock. It's an extra lifeline. If you can kick the ball off and force the Seahawks to run a play before the 2-minute warning, you save so much time. How much time exactly? Well, let's say you kick the ball out of the landing zone, so you kick it out of bounds or kick it off short. You need to get a stop either way. If you don't get a stop, you lose. So we're just going to assume that you get a stop. If we assume each play takes 5 seconds, the Seahawks call their first play at 2:04. It goes down to 1:59, and the 2-minute warning stops the clock. On second down, the Seahawks run it down to 1:54, and the Texans burn a timeout. On third down, the Seahawks run it down to 1:49, and then punt it away with 1:09. So if you're this man right here, D'Amico Ryans, you're getting it back with over a minute left. But now, if you eliminate the 2-minute warning because you kick it off deep and the Seahawks have a chance to return it, if the return takes 6 seconds, the Seahawks have it with 1:58 left. The game is basically over at this point. Congratulations, Texans. You played yourself. You have no chance to win. The Seahawks run it on first down. It goes to 1:53, and the Texans burn their final timeout. On second down, the Seahawks run it. It goes to 1:48. Then the 40-second play clock takes it to 1:08. On third down, the Seahawks run it. It goes to 1:03. Then the 40-second play clock takes it to 23 seconds. And now you're getting it back with time for maybe 1 or 2 plays from scrimmage to go 70 to 80 yards. You did the one thing you couldn't do. Literally, you did the one thing you couldn't do. Kicking it into the landing zone is such a nonsensical decision, especially considering what we saw transpire in week 1 during the Bears-Vikings game. Time is your friend at this point. You can get an extra timeout if you make sure the time works in your favor. You have an easy way that is completely within your control in order to get that extra timeout. And yet, you decide not to use it and utilize it. The yardage difference from the other team getting it at the 40 means nothing. If an average return gets to the 30, let's say, the 10 yards are not as important as the near minute you just lost. Because not only do you lose 40 seconds from the lack of an extra timeout, because you didn't use the 2-minute warning to your advantage, and you just acted as if it was something that was there with no rhyme or reason or purpose to fill, but you lose the 6 or 7 seconds that a kickoff return takes. Kick it out of bounds or short of the landing zone, and you have more time. Kick it in the landing zone, and you have less time. Do you want more time or less time when you're trailing by 8 points and don't have the ball? If you want less time, congratulations. You're an idiot. And apparently, you're qualified to be the head coach of the Houston Texans based on how this game went. And someone asked D'Amico Ryans about it afterwards and asked him why he didn't just kick it out of bounds or short of the landing zone. And this is what Ryans had to say. Now, I know you might be saying, come on, aren't you being a little too hard on Ryans? He said he wanted to kick it out of bounds, and the player didn't execute. You can't blame the coach for that. And that is true. If something is a player error and not a coaching error, it's not a dumb decision. I have gone on the record many times and have said that. If a coach tells his quarterback to hand the ball off, and then the quarterback calls an audible and throws it, I'm not going to yell at the coach for calling that play, because clearly he didn't call it. So this seems like an overreaction on my part, and it feels like D'Amico Ryans should be off the hook. He's absolved of all the blame here, right? Bull. Complete and utter bull. Bulls on parade. There is no way that Ryans knew the situation here. He is talking out of his butt. I'm willing to bet my bottom dollar that Ryans only realized after the game that this was the correct move. Because here's the thing. How hard is it to kick a football out of bounds. If that was truly the strategy from the start, why would you not have your kicker line up at a 90-degree angle or a 45-degree angle? If I'm teeing off in golf and I have a very straight drive that doesn't hook or slice or anything like that, and I cannot go down the middle on this drive because it's a dog leg and there's a huge water trap right down the middle, you know where I'm not going to line my body up? That's right, directly down the middle. On top of that, if the kick misses short of the landing zone, the ball gets placed at the 40. So how hard is it to tell your kicker to just tap the ball? He didn't even have to kick it out of bounds. Just give it a tap, touch the ball, and the Seahawks have the ball at the 40 with no time coming off the clock. Point is, there was no way that you wanted to kick the ball out of bounds or short of the landing zone and were unable to do it. It's like if you're taking a test and you want to get a 0 for some reason. And if you submit a blank test, it counts as a 0. Yet you decide that you want to answer one question and you get it right. And now you're screwed. I don't know why you'd want a 0, but you get the idea. You had the easiest way to do it by just not doing anything and you decide to do something instead. So even if Ryan said he wanted to kick it out of bounds, I'm not buying it for a second. And I'm not buying his excuse and his pathetic attempt to throw his player under the bus. If you truly wanted to kick it out of bounds, it is not hard. If you truly wanted to kick it short of the landing zone, it is not hard. You had no idea about this rule and only discovered afterwards that this was a bad idea. And that's why you're on this segment and your team is an undisciplined mess at 2-4. I'll repeat what I said in the Bears-Vikings episode of Dumb Decisions from week 1, because it's the exact same thing to a T. Same thing, just different colors and names on the uniforms. This insane decision just costs you the game. If you kick it off deep, you get the worst of both worlds, because you can't recover the ball and the Seahawks win the game. If you onside kick it, at least you have a chance of recovering. If you kick it regularly but out of bounds or short of the landing zone, at least you can get the ball back with time on the clock. But by doing this, you can't do either. You can't recover, and you'll have no time left to move the ball down the field. It's like you've never looked at a clock before in your life and realized how one works. Because if you did, you never would have made this asinine decision in the first place. I mean, you said you looked at a clock and realized how this works, but again, I don't believe you for a nanosecond. And I don't think anyone else is buying what you're selling. D'Amico Ryans is seemingly getting worse and worse as a head coach as time goes on. And this game was the epitome of that, and a Texans team and a coaching staff that should be a lot better than they are right now. So what did we learn from all of this? If you don't have all your timeouts, and it's right before the 2-minute warning, and you want to kick it deep and not do an onside kick, then kick it off short or kick it so far out of bounds that it winds up in the next state over. If you kick it in the landing zone, you're a moron. If you even so much as keep it close to the landing zone and keep it within the realm of possibility to the point where I can't tell what's going to happen the moment the ball leaves the tee, then you're a moron. I don't know how this keeps happening and these teams and these coaches continually botch this specific situation, but it does. And with every Groundhog Day moment, it makes me lose more and more brain cells with the passage of time. So thanks for that, Coach Ryans. Thanks for making me dumber. Thanks for making me watch this atrocity of a game and ending it with one of the worst decisions of the season. My God, this game sucked. Because when all these elements are in play, you can't exactly be surprised when this play backfires. Talk about a dumb decision. Alrighty. And Ben donating. Holy cow. Appreciate you, Ben. Appreciate you. Just about to go and lock that prep troll. Good luck, man. Good luck. Which game do you want me to do? I'll get you on the call for it. Appreciate you, man. I was we're editing a stream live on we're editing a stream our video live on the air, so appreciate you a ton, Ben, on that one. Appreciate you a ton. Which game do you want me to do? I will get you on the call for that one. There's a couch roll game you want me to do. There's a play playing me while I'm reading it. He said bottom dollar. I did. Chapel Hill. All right, all good. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, good luck today. Yep, it is very early where I am. Very early in the States right now. But we hit a stretch goal last time, so I figured let's edit a video live on the air. And appreciate you tuning in again. Probably just gonna get to it earlier. Just email recording. This is like you see the behind the scenes meat and potatoes of it. So now what I do, this is the only time I use AI in my videos, is as the tool, not as the process. And that is, I have Adobe Podcast. It's this function that gets rid of the background noise. I'll go 100, 0, and I just download that. Men's basketball team that year went 2-22. Man, so the football and basketball teams both suck. Feels out to hear your narration without the background music. Yep. You learned to play music on the piano? Wow, that's impressive. I still can't believe watching the game. I still cannot believe it. Yeah, I think I only had one screw up. And for this one, we take a look at the mind of that. Gotta go, we're locking down. Good luck. All good. All good. Have a good day, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate tuning in on this Tuesday morning. There was a crazy dumb decision that we had to cover, so. I think I had like one slip up. That was it. Like the guys here, Natalie, appreciate it. Yeah, sometimes, I mean, you saw it too there. Like there were some lines I added in there that are not part of the script. So I'll ad-lib some stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I will ad-lib, and just some of the lines I say, some of the lines that people like love the most, completely made up on the fly. There were a fair amount there. Like when I said this man right here, like I knew in my mind, okay, D'Amico Ryans, like I have the footage of him. That's why I like getting the footage first sometimes, because I know, okay, if I say that. Currently on my one, so currently on a free period, so I thought I would drop by. All good. All good. I appreciate you dropping by. I appreciate all you guys giving me company as I edit this video. And now we get to the, I have to download the press conference. Hang on, give me a second. Give me a second here. I have to download the press conference. Miko Ryans. Do that. Turbo scribe. And do that. Video should be out in the next hour. So once I have all this, because the background noise is removed, we should be out in the next... Oh, man. Should be up by like 7 o'clock. Let me actually just make a post. Let people know what we're doing here. Let people know what we're doing here. Game plan for today. Worst case accounts Wednesday. That's just to make sure I got the time right. 7:30 Eastern. Perfect. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Yep. Just to let people know. Once I have an idea of when the video is gonna be done, like I know this is not gonna take more than an hour at this point. This will not be bad. Okay, now I have all the clips in. And now, it's time to edit this thing. So let me reduce the screen so you see what I see on this. So, I take the, like, so you're not going to be able to hear the audio, which is fine, because it would just be... Actually, we can do that. We can do that. So I need the actual footage of... That works.
And a decision by Ty Chandler, which is a good decision.
Well,
Yeah, there we go. So that's that. Let's take this part because it's the same for everything. Take that. There we go. All right. So let's see what I'm going with here. Then I know I'll need about a minute of Ben Johnson clips, but I already have those because I already did the video on him. So all I have to do is just copy that. Yeah, I don't need that much. So make sure I have everything. Yeah, that should be good. If I need more, I can just extend the clip. That's not a problem. No problemo there. Okay, so now I just take my file, my audio file, put it in. I go to 120. I go 126 on that. I don't know. You guys can't see the audio file for whatever reason. I might have to reduce this. Yeah, I gotta reduce it like that. Okay. Yeah, so this is what I'm looking at. I go 126 in my audio with that.
remember this. Remember week 1 on Monday Night Football? Remember week 1 on
It's really
remember
just
week
getting
1 on
rid of these like cracks right here.
Remember week 1
So like here I can see.
Remember week
there.
Remember week 1 on Monday Night Football when Ben Johnson, for some reason,
So sometimes with this I can like and renovate the studio while I do
for
that.
some
so
reason,
I can replace the helmets,
decided to
'cause I
have
know
Cairo Santos,
I'm gonna have
the
college stuff
weakest
tomorrow.
kicker in football. Weakest,
There's definitely a lot of
the
some of my voice
weakest
today.
kicker in football, not kick the ball out of bounds or short of the landing zone, thereby allowing the Vikings to return it, take it past the 2-minute warning, and end the game right then and there. Well, I thought for sure after that nationally televised debacle that no one, not one single soul would repeat what this man did right here. I thought there was no way that it could be done a second time. The situation was so obvious the first time, let alone when there's a prior example that everyone saw and that everyone talked about. And
we're gonna go black screen on this for emphasis because it'll cut the music. And sure enough, now we play the clip and then we go from there. So let's get the actual footage of the kick. Where was it? Here it is. So I see what I'm looking at.
Fairbairn does boot it in the end zone. Running it out, Solani. So they couldn't kick it out of the back of the end zone, and that's going to be...
Alright, so that's 13 seconds. It's not good enough.
So they couldn't kick it...
I need to keep it under 8 just to make it...
Fairbairn running it out, Solani.
Yeah.
The lead is 8, 1:58 to play.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Alright. So I get that. Keep it 8 seconds.
Fairbairn does boot it in the end zone.
Sound like Summerall? It does, yeah, you know?
Solani.
He did sound a bit like Summerall on that one.
you're kidding me. Welcome to Dumb Decisions. Again. Again.
+8. Does he get triple doubles?
Again. Before
Like he might get the assists. I want to bet on that for the Ravens because I would also think they're not going to play him at like the first game. They're going to limit the minutes to some extent. Like he's not going to get a crazy workload game 1. I wouldn't think. +8,000. That you're making a lot of crazy bets right now. I will say I made some money during the Monday Night Football games today. By some money, I mean a cool $7. I bet minus. I think it was like minus 10,000 on the Lions when I got to like a insurmountable deficit. And then I took that and then took it all and put it on the not the Seahawks. And it was like minus 4,000 and looked insurmountable.
Before I break down what happened here, this whole series is about taking an in-depth look at decisions made during games that were clearly awful from the start. I
know there's one strobe coming here.
Were clearly awful from the start.
Really, yeah.
This
So I would not
look bad in hindsight.
I'm not making the bet.
Rather,
that's free,
this is something
free money to the casino.
This is something to look awful almost immediately. These are moves where gut instinct tells you right away that there is no way this can possibly work.
Unless you just bet that.
Sure enough,
the only way that would make sense if you bet that every single game and then he does it one time.
Your gut instinct was smarter than that of an NFL head coach.
I wouldn't do it.
And for this one,
I wouldn't bet that at all.
Coach. And for this one, we're taking a look at the mind of Houston Texans head coach. Texans head coach DeMeco Ryans. This whole game was a catastrophe. This whole game made me want to lose whatever brain cells I had left. If you are just waking up today,
I mean, editing the audio is like by far the most annoying part.
Waking up today,
it's just all technical stuff at this point.
And looking at the box score of the game, you might think that you missed something good. Oh no. I promise you, you did not. In fact, I kind of envy you.
The I kind of envy you is not the original script. I
kind of envy you.
I was feeling that.
Because what you missed was one of the worst displays of football, where honest to God, I could make about 20 episodes of dumb decisions. The Seahawks, up by 15 points in the fourth quarter.
I haven't texted this one out this late. It's Tuesday morning, you magnificent psychopath.
And
I love it.
Decided to throw the ball.
I'm a workaholic. What can I say?
The Seahawks needing a field goal to go 3 scores and moving the ball
My mom
well
is
down
gonna
the field.
probably be like, "Wait, why are you live?"
Decided to try a wide receiver
She's about to wake up.
pass with
She's
Cooper
like,
Kupp.
why the heck are you
Because
live?
that's worked so well before.
My sister's probably up at this hour too. She's probably walking the
instead of
dog.
going for it on 4th and 1 past the 50, or trying to draw the.
It's so funny because like my whole family starts their day as I'm ending mine. That's just the schedule I've got.
The 50, or trying to draw the Texans offside with a hard count, decided to try and fool the Texans by lining up in a swinging gate formation. Colts Patriots 2015. Colts Patriots 2015 style, which shot 2015 style, which shocker didn't work.
I've been on for like 11 hours
Texans,
at this point. I've been on since.
Instead of utilizing
like
this thing called the
my
quarterback
time,
sneak,
and now it's
decided to run 2 goal line passes, which shocker didn't work. The Texans at one point went for it on fourth down and got stuffed using the exact same play.
Yep, gotta love it. I love being on the West Coast because I at least on certain nights I can just do whatever I want.
I cannot even begin to describe the
I couldn't do this on the
atrocity
East Coast. I couldn't. I would every single night I would have no social life.
The atrocity I watched. It was quite.
It would just suck doing everything.
It was quite possibly
sundown
the
and
worst
then
coach game of football, and
I see the sunrise all the time, and I would get no sunlight during wintertime. I would get no sunlight on the East Coast. If I was in New York,
I've ever seen in my life when it comes to the final quarter. And that is
Swing
saying
gate
a lot.
formation. Swing gate was basically the offensive line is in a weird look. It was this. You remember this play? What was that? That little that thing. That's swinging gate.
Saying a lot because I watched a lot of football and a lot of crap football at that. This fourth quarter was an experience in a lot of ways. But then we got the big kahuna. Then we got the cherry on top. We got the cherry on top of the suckiest game to ever suck. Of the suckiest game to ever suck. Because D'Amico Ryans just completely botched this sequence. There was no other way to say it. D'Amico Ryans decided to do the
Yeah, I think we'll be done by 6:45.
decided to do the dumbest thing imaginable, and it cost the Texans the game. So with that being said, let's take a look at why kicking the ball into the landing zone and why kicking the ball into the landing zone with 2:04 left and having one timeout left is a really bad idea. Because if I had a nickel for every time this happened on Monday Night Football this season, I'd have 2 nickels. I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice. But before I do that, I should note that I stream all the primetime games on this channel. So I was live for this atrocity. I was live when D'Amico Ryans decided to have his kicker kick the ball into the landing zone. And by this point, having watched one of the worst played and worst executed games of football, I was ready to crash out. Take a look at my real-time reaction, just so that you know this wasn't a case of hindsight bias or exploiting a loophole way after the fact. Like thinking of the perfect thing to say in the shower in a conversation that happened yesterday. Take a gander.
I don't want like a quarter-second clip, so
Take a gander at this.
on that clip early. And now we get my reaction from real time. Wait. I have that ready. I was gonna say I have that ready. Okay. Do I have my... I do, yes. Okay, perfect. Alright, so I put that in here. I didn't put it in yet, but I put it in here. All the background noises removed.
27-19, one-score game. Okay, now, if you're not going to onside kick, I'm not sure I onside kick it here. With the way your defense is playing, but you do what Ben Johnson didn't do. Out of bounds, out of the back of the end zone. Okay, now, if you're not going to 27-19, one-score game.
Alright. I'll just start it here. So about 30 minutes ago to get ready for work. I'm selling. Yep, grind don't stop. Basically, we hit a stretch goal where if we race 250, I would edit a video live on stream. And turns out we hit that goal because you guys are awesome. So I've just been busy with that.
Now, if you're not going to onside kick it in the landing zone. What? How does this keep happening?
I kind of like the raw. I actually kind of like the raw video better. I think that gets the sound effects. 27-19, one-score game. Yeah, you get the laughs. Yeah, you don't get the laughs in the other one, so we're gonna do that. Yeah, sometimes that happens with Adobe Podcast. Like it's great removing background noise, but sometimes it removes a little too much. When it comes to that. Okay, now I need to crop this in a way that will. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, now. Okay, now, if you're not gonna on-site. There we go. I'm still up. Yes, we had a stretch goal last night where if we got a certain amount of money, I would add a video live on the air.
All right, so with
and
2:04 left
we
in
hit
the
that
game,
goal.
one
So
timeout,
I'm adding this
you
video.
have 3 options. Option 1, try the onside kick. It's
Wait. You know, I was wasn't expecting to be streaming either. You guys came in clutch last night.
But it at least gives you the chance of getting the
I
ball
was
back without having to
stunned
rely on your defense to
when you
make
guys
the
hit the
stop.
stretch goal.
However, the Seahawks get the ball near field goal range. However, the Seahawks get the ball near field goal range.
We should be done by like
and
6:45
one field
Eastern
goal
time.
makes it a 2-score game,
Because then
ending
just
any chance
exporting
you have
and
at
all
winning
that
the game.
Stuff.
Furthermore, even if you do get a stop, your anemic offense is going to have to drive roughly 90 yards down the field in order to down the field.
There's some kind
90 yards down the field in order to tie it with limited time and no timeouts available at their disposal. It's a super high risk, high reward play. But I'm not faulting the Texans for not trying it. Reward play. But I'm high risk, high reward play. But I'm not faulting the Texans for not trying it, especially with how their defense has played all day, and especially in this fourth quarter. So if we're and especially in this fourth quarter. So if we're eliminating that option, you've got option 2, which is to have the kickoff not be in the landing zone, and option 3, which is to have the kickoff, and option 3, which is to have the kickoff be in the landing zone. And we're gonna do some simple math on this. With 2:04 left, you only have 4 seconds before the 2-minute warning hits. The 2-minute warning serves as a timeout. It serves as a chance to stop the clock. It's an extra lifeline. If you can kick the ball off, extra lifeline. If you can kick the ball off and force the Seahawks to run a play before the 2-minute warning, you save so much time. How much time exactly? Well, let's say you kick the ball out of the landing zone, so you kick it out of bounds or kick it off short. You need to get a stop either way. If you don't get a stop, you lose. So we're just going to assume that you get a stop. You lose. So we're just going to assume that you get a stop. If we assume each play takes 5 seconds, the Seahawks call their first play at 2:04. The Seahawks call their first play at 2:04. It goes down to play at 2. Seahawks call their play at 2:04. It goes down to 1:59, and the 2-minute warning stops the clock. And the 2-minute warning stops the clock. On second down, the Seahawks run it down to 1:54, and the Texans burn a timeout. On third down, the Seahawks run it down to 1:49. The Seahawks run it down to 1:49, and then punt it away with 1:09. So if you're this Vim right here, D'Amico Ryans, you're getting it back. you're getting it back with over a minute left. But now, if you eliminate the 2-minute warning, you eliminate
Yeah, this one's gonna be about 20 minutes long.
the 2-minute warning because to kick it off deep, and the Seahawks have a chance to return it. If the return takes 6 seconds, the Seahawks have it with 1:58 left. The game is basically over at this point. Congratulations, Texans. You played yourself. You have no chance to win. The Seahawks run it on first down. It goes to 153. And the Texans down. It goes to 153. And the Texans burn their final timeout. On second down, the Seahawks run it. It goes to 148. Then the 40-second play clock takes it to 108. On third down, the Seahawks run it. It goes to 103. Then the wait. On third down, the Seahawks run it.
We're just still going on. Yep, we are still going on. Basically, we had the stretch goal last night where you guys came in clutch. You hit it, so
the
we're going to end the video live on the air, and we are just about wrapping up.
Play clock
We got about
23 seconds, and now
about 20
we're
minutes
getting it
left.
back with time for maybe 1 or 2 plays for
But we are
scrimmage.
still going. Yeah, we've been on since
70 to 80 yards. You did the one
6:50
thing
Eastern
you
time
couldn't do.
yesterday.
Literally, you did the
Literally 6:50 Eastern time yesterday. So
you did the one thing.
we're approaching
you
12 hours
couldn't
on
do.
stream.
Kicking it into the landing zone is such a nonsensical decision, especially
I'm
considering
going
what
to
we
bed
saw
after this.
transpire in Week 1 during the Bears-Vikings game. Time is your friend at this point. You can get an extra timeout if you make sure the time works in your favor. You have an easy way that is completely within your control in order to get that extra timeout. And yet, you decide not to use it and utilize it. The yardage difference from the other team getting it at the 40 means nothing.
If you noted which dumb
If an
decision we're
average
editing,
return
it's
gets
the,
to the 30,
just
let's
joining us.
say, the
You were
10
asleep
yards are
for
not
last
as
night's
important
ending of the
as
game.
the near
I
minute
mean,
you just lost.
You missed
Because not only do you lose 40
Ben
seconds
Johnson kickoff
from the lack of an
2.0.
extra
So we're
timeout,
just
because you didn't use the
editing
2-minute warning
this
to your
and making sure
advantage,
everything's-
and you
looks
just
good,
acted
sounds good.
as if it was something
We're
that
up the
was
strip
there
live on
with
stream.
no
We
rhyme
found
or
a
reason
different
or
strip live
purpose
on
to
stream as
fill.
well. I went through the whole
But
process
you
of how I do
lose
it.
the
And
6 or 7 seconds
found a story that
that
we're going to do this
kickoff
week in all
return
likelihood.
takes. Kick it out of bounds or short of the landing zone, and you have
Belichick
more
historical
time.
dumb decision.
Kick it in the landing zone, and you have less time. Do you want more time or less time when you're trailing by 8 points and don't have the ball?
So I have historical dumb decisions
If you
later this
want
week.
less
And
time,
we will have
congratulations.
a lot more dumb decisions from what
You're an
happened
idiot.
today.
And
Not today, but
apparently,
the
you're qualified to be the
this
head
week,
coach
I
of the
should
Houston
say.
Texans
Holy
based
cow.
on how this game went.
20? Holy cow. China Sam, Dave's not here. CNJ Dep, Pure Adrenaline, 04C, Connor, D. Lawson, Nyla Solitude, Infrared Jared, again Canton, Brian, Red Smod, El Hermanos, Abiola, Bogdan, Manitou, Nikolov Stadiums, Moronic McGee, Nocturnal, Wrench. Oh my god, which game do you want? Which game do you want? I'll get you on the call for it. Which game do you want? Appreciate it as always. You get a lot of cool perks as members. Same with the video members. Only Q&A, some emojis in the chat. Oh my god. Wow. Thank you. Thanks. Holy cow.
This game went.
I was not expecting that.
And
this
someone
hour.
asked Mika Ryans about it
Oh my god. Wow.
afterwards.
Oh
And
my
asked
god.
him why he didn't just kick it at him.
Yeah, they're all real people. Yes. Go to bed. I will be going to bed after this is done. Don't you
Why
worry.
he didn't just
Yeah, they're
kick
real
it out of
people.
bounds.
Should we
or
play the game
short
right
of the
now?
landing zone.
Yeah, that game was an atrocity. That game was a complete
Or
dumpster
short of the
fire.
landing zone.
Yeah, they're all real people.
And this is what Ryans had to say.
I recognize most of them. Growing the community even more. I love it. I love it. All right, let me get this in. UCLA. All right, we'll get you UCLA. All right, that counts as a triple. So, wow, that counts as a triple. UCLA is in front. This is going to be close to make the call. We got one more day left on this to make the call. This is going to be a close one. Yeah, I love it too. I love it. They're so supportive. I can't thank them enough.
And we did not execute that again. Yeah, the plan at the end of the game was.
What was the plan going into there?
You know, it's awesome.
What
They're
was the
great.
plan going
And we kicking the ball. We did not execute that. You know, frustrating that we're not executing the things that we're coached to do.
Okay, so I missed D'Amico explaining what happened, but again, I don't buy it for a second.
Say.
Crop this just so we see the podium.
So we can use
And then we do that.
to do.
Now, I know you might be saying, come on, aren't you being a little too hard on Ryans? He said he wanted to kick it out of bounds, and the player didn't execute.
Curry 27,
You
6
can't
assists.
blame the
How many
coach for
parlays
that.
are you doing?
And that is true.
How many bets are you
If
making,
something
Joe?
is a player
Oh my
error,
God. Be
not
careful,
a coaching
man.
error, it's not a dumb decision. I have gone on the record many times and have said
I thought you had. Did you have the
if a
Lakers
coach
winning in a
tells his
parlay?
quarterback-
Am I missing something? I thought you had the Lakers earlier in one of your bets.
If a coach tells his quarterback to hand the ball off, and then
Unless
the quarterback calls
although
an
you had
audible
the
and
underdog
throws it,
parlay, Warriors or underdog
I'm not
parlay.
going to yell at the coach for calling that play.
I could have
because
swore one of your
clearly
bets said the Lakers.
He didn't call it. So this seems like an overreaction on my part.
Just
And
like
it
an
feels
okay.
like D'Amico Ryan's
Okay.
part. And it feels like D'Amico Ryan's should be off the hook. He's absolved of all the blame here, right? Bull. Complete and utter bull. Complete and utter bull. Bulls on parade. Bulls on parade. There is no
Yeah, Bulls and Parade was not part of the script. That was just.
There is no
Some
way
improv.
that Ryans knew the situation here. He is talking out of his butt. I'm willing to bet my bottom dollar that Ryans only realized after the game that this was the correct move. Because here's the correct move. Because here's the thing. How hard is it to kick a football out of bounds? If that was truly the strategy from the start, why would you not have your kicker line up at a 90-degree angle or a 45-degree angle? Or a 45-degree angle. 5-degree angle. If I'm teeing off in golf and I have a very
Yeah, we have about 4 minutes left in this video.
and I have a very straight drive that doesn't hook or slice or anything.
And this video should be up at 7:30
or
Eastern time.
slice or anything like that, and I cannot go down the middle on this stride because it's a dog leg and there's a huge water trap right down the middle. You know where I'm not going to line my body up? That's right, directly down the middle. On top of that, if the kick misses short of the landing zone, the ball gets placed at the 40. So how hard is it to tell your kicker to just tap the ball? He didn't even have to kick it out of bounds. Just give it a... He didn't even have to kick it out of bounds. Just give it a tap, touch the ball, and the Seahawks have the ball at the 40. Tap, touch the ball, and the Seahawks have the ball at the 40 with no time coming off the clock. Point is, the clock. Point is, there was no way that you wanted to kick the ball out of bounds or short of the landing zones or short of the ball out of bounds or short of the landing zone and were unable to do it. It's like if you're taking a test, do it. It's like if you're taking a test and you want to get a 0 for some reason. And if you submit a blank test, it counts as a 0. Yet it counts as a 0. Yet you decide that you want to answer one question and you get it it counts as a 0. Yet you decide that you want to answer one question and you get it right. And now you're screwed. I don't know why you'd want a 0, but you get the idea. You had the easiest way to do it by just not doing anything, and you decided to do something instead. So even if Ryan said he wanted to kick it out of bounds, said he wanted to kick it out of bounds, I'm not buying it for a second. And I'm not buying his excuse in his pathetic attempt to throw his player under the bus. If you truly wanted to kick it out of bounds, it is not hard. If you it out of bounds, it is not hard. If you truly wanted to kick it short of the landing zone, it is not hard. You had no idea about this rule, and only discovered afterwards that this was a bad idea. And that's why you're on this segment, and your team is an undisciplined mess at 2-4. At 2-4. I'll repeat what I said in the Bears-Vikings episode of Dumb Decisions from week 1, because it's the because it's the exact same thing to a T. Same thing, just different colors and names on the uniforms. This insane decision just cost you the game. Just cost you the game. If you kick it off deep, you get the worst of both worlds, because they can't recover the ball and the Seahawks win the game. If you onside kick it, at least you have a chance at recovering. If you kick it regularly but out of bounds or short of the landing zone, at least you can get the ball back with time on the clock. But by doing this, you can't do either.
And we're almost there. Under 2 minutes.
You can't do either.
I said we
can't
done this for probably
recover,
like 6:45
and you'll have
Eastern
no
time.
time left to move the ball down the field.
You do enough of these videos, you have a
looked at
pretty
a
good
clock
idea of
before in
when
your
it's gonna
life left to
happen.
move the ball down the field. Ball down on the field. It's like you've never looked at a clock before in your life and realized how one works. Because if you did, you never would have made this asinine decision in the first place. I mean, you said you looked at a clock and realized how this works, but again, I don't believe you for a nanosecond. Second. I don't think anyone else is buying what you're. Don't think anyone else is buying what you're selling. D'Amico Ryans is seemingly getting worse and worse as a head coach as time goes on, and this game was the epitome of that. At a Texans team and a coaching staff that should be a lot better. That should be a lot better than they are right now. So what did we learn from all of this? If you don't have all your timeouts and it's right before the 2-minute warning, the 2-minute warning, and you want to kick it deep and not do an onside kick, then kick it off short or kick it so far out of bounds that it winds up in the next state over. If you kick it in the landing zone, you're a moron. If you don't, you're a moron. If you even so much as keep it close to the landing zone and keep it within the realm of possibility, to the point where I can't tell what's going to happen the moment the ball leaves the tee, the tee, then you're a moron. I don't know how this keeps happening. I don't know how this keeps happening, and these teams and these coaches continually botch this specific situation. But it does. And with every Groundhog Day moment, it makes me lose more and more brain cells with the passage of time. With the passage of time. So passage of time. Passage of time. So thanks for that, Coach Ryans. Thanks for making me dumber. Thanks for making me watch this atrocity of a game and ending it with one of the worst decisions of the season. My God, this game sucked. Because when all these elements are in play, you can't exactly be surprised when this play backfires. Talk about a dumb decision. A dumb decision.
All right, so now that's all good. So we're gonna do that. Gonna zoom out. Yeah, it timed it perfectly in terms of how much to slow everything down. So we take that.
Dumb decision.
Stretch it out a little bit.
Decision.
And then we got a file here for the media. 17 point. Where is it? Which one is it? Oh wait, what am I doing? I am all out of sorts right now. Hang on. If I stretch it out normally, I know which file it is.
For this week, we've got tons of content in terms of the NFL.
It's the 34-second one. Hang on. No? Okay, where to go? Hang on.
And make sure to join me live as we're on stream just about every covering a
Here we go. I just get this up. So just drag that file. And then the music file. I do that. I'm gonna lower the speed on this to 90. Splice it a little bit. So you don't hear the music when my reaction's happening or during some of these moments. And then splice it there. Splice it there. And splice it over here. Alright. Now I export. I'll do it as Seahawks, or no, Texans Seahawks 25DD. Usually the same, the teams, the year, and just DD for dumb decision. And we export. And on that note, that's it. That is the entire process. Now at this point, it's just uploading the bad boy to YouTube. So the video is done. It'll be up in the next 30 minutes in all likelihood. So just gotta go through the YouTube processing thing, and then we'll be good to go. So I appreciate all you guys tuning in again. Thank you for helping me hit that stretch goal so I can show you the process live on stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned a thing or two about how I do it. This was a fun stream. So for all you who stayed up on this super late night, I appreciate you guys a ton. So we're going to sign off here, and the video will be out in 30 minutes, and then I'm going to go to bed, and we will get Dable and McCoy out in the next, hopefully, 24 hours. So I still have to do a college term decisions, too, on Mississippi State against Florida. These coaches just killed me this weekend. But we'll get that out, too. So appreciate you guys a ton. JG9 signing off. And we'll see you guys later in the day. 13 hours going to be live for West Kentucky against Louisiana Tech. So we got some college football. I'll change the helmets behind me to the college setup. So thank you guys a ton. My memberships. Oh man, I wish there was a way to do that. I wish there was a way to just give people lifetime, but alas, there is not. But appreciate you guys a ton. I will see you guys later today. Enjoy the video when it drops. And